BioWare by reviews Cole Canary. Professor It Firewalk from Dairy. Concord was worse studio dead. Increase the titty meat and shrink the head. Fat and ugly, so inclusive. They, them, not a profit conducive. Represent high score platinum. Suicide Concord. Lifespan shorter than a housefly. Sony burns 400 million. Lieutenant Surge leads the gym for million. You learned cut from SS and was 2 weeks of partio plan. Surgical gash and it smells like poo. Concord's gaming's Joker 2. Pantheon solidification. Gaming's worst, brace for cremation. A little too queer, so I sound the alarm. Twitch bans Dragon Age streamers for self-harm. Dyed hair developers dismissed. DEI rest in piss, you will not be missed. Dragon Age consultants from Kotaku, born a man but dyed their hair blue. It's all just one big coincidence. Smaller audience, bigger influence. I'm under, makes you wonder. Kyle rip tear that ass asunder. Like a piece of paper, call me Mifflin Dunder. You miss the lightning, here comes the thunder. Don't save ha. It don't wanna be saved, don't save ha. Don't reload this save, don't save ha. It don't wanna be saved, don't save ha. It don't wanna be saved. Hello, beta testers. Like and subscribe if you appreciate me. My name is Kyle. I could identify as anything or anyone, but I choose to be me. I expect to be held accountable in the honesty that I manage in making these videos. 5 years ago, I saw an entity behaving unprofessionally and reported on it because I didn't like it. I had no authority, and as entities like Chris Kindred of Sweet Baby Inc. need to indicate while flinching over recognition of Sweet Baby Inc.'s kiss of death, I apparently preached to an audience of nobody. Got up his ass enough for him to be tweeting about it, though, living rent-free in that Pringle's head. Ain't that a Pringle in the asshole? With all the failed attempts to redirect audiences at people and things that they don't like, this loser later going on to attack Cabrutus, on YouTube I've had fun for over a decade, but only when touching on the triggered protected entities did I see things like my channel demonetized, something that I emphasize since people have my motivations confused. So I'm going to share with you a video from 2019, that's 5 years ago, and I encourage you to tell me if the serial victims in question have changed. Kotaku dyed hair liars consulted for Dragon Age. Veilguard? Any creators daring to be even slightly critical did not receive codes, but entities like this inject unnatural HRT into your games, and maybe, just maybe, like Concord, they'll face consequence in the profit department, because I certainly won't be buying anything like this, and maybe the 500,000 people invested in things like DEI detected, as useless as the information may be to entities like Forbes journalists, it's just not popular for us, so I'm not really going to be funding that, you understand? Surgery scars, though, am I right? No boobs or butt, so super customizable unless you're a woman, a biological woman, which, as we know, is something that triggers these entities who regard that as problematic. You know, like everything that doesn't bow and kiss the ring of woke, like Hogwarts Legacy can sell the most copies of 2023, but it's not going to get mentioned at the award show for Keeley. That's where the woke games go. So I present to you this, in its entirety, video from 2019, and I want you to tell me, has Kotaku changed? How is Kotaku still around? Kotaku issues a non-apology over racist slander. So, some idiot named Laura Kate Dale publishes an article, hopefully you can hear my air quotes, entitled, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Persona 5 DLC includes a disability slur. The article claims a song uses this word in its lyrics. But wait, the actual lyric is retort it. That didn't stop Loro from throwing this onto their irrelevant website to milk the popularity of something people actually liked. What makes this particularly racist to me is that you'd need to force willful ignorance to pretend you don't know that some people who don't speak English as a first language, in this case the Japanese people, occasionally struggle with the pronunciation of words. So imagine the term brack is an offensive term, and when someone who doesn't originally speak your language tries to say the term black, it sounds like brack. Do you, A, ask and confirm what they said and or meant, or B, get pretend mad and go, hey guys, insensitivity, blue checkmark style all over Twitter. You woke as fuck. So now Atlas, the developer of Persona, of course confirms that this is not the lyric. So you forge your pathetic non-apology and somehow still choose to keep the original slanderous article up to continue gaining that traffic and ad revenue. Everybody sees what you're doing. But for a quick summary for everybody who's looking at this nonsense from the outside. Publish lies in a literal fake news article, get called out by inhabitants of the realm known as reality, don't delete the article, and play victim. I can't explain or explain why I can't explain. So, what kind of dirty scalawag engages in this kind of unethical behavior? Well, in an excerpt from a great editorial piece by Sophia Narwitz, we are reminded that in 2013, Laura Kay claimed she was completely dehumanized on stage during a live Xbox One event in London, claiming that comedian Fraser Millward referred to her as he, this one, it, and thing, or as Laura phrased it in a tweet, I was he, it, thing, and this one. I was on stage and they still insist we need a woman on stage. Any women here? Immediately the press jumped in. Websites like The Daily Dot, Pink News, and Kotaku made it out as Fraser was transphobic, because he, in the words of Laura Dale, dehumanized her. The problem? None of that happened. Fraser Millward at one point had referred to her as this person, something Laura deemed as misgendering, ignoring the fact that this person is gender neutral and a phrase countless people use for a variety of reasons. Laura, however, took this as an attack, then made up that he had also called her it, he, and thing, and slandered him online. Sound familiar? She later retracted her claims in a joint statement with Fraser, and the whole event was eventually swept under the rug, and Laura was able to continue her track towards becoming a games journalist. Let me reiterate this here. Laura Kate Dale blatantly lied about being called he, thing, and it. Nowhere did that happen, and she was forced to retract it a handful of years later, and now she writes for Kotaku. Let that sink in. So, doubling down and demonstrating a complete lack of accountability, Laura Kate of course tweets, I am still not sure what the lyric says, as if that's in question. It doesn't matter what you think it says, mate. Atlas came out and was like, what you have lied and said is not the truth. But I guess here it comes, the fake ass apology. Our mistake was to put the article live in a form where it sounded certain of our interpretation, when we should have waited for comment back. Yeah, like a journalist. You know what I mean? Like a journalist. We tailored the piece to reflect people's confusion rather than being definitive about it. I mean, it seemed pretty definitive from what you guys put up. You seem pretty sure about it. This is factual information. A disability slur. And the article's still up. Again, it's still up because you need that traffic. You're nothing without this traffic. You're nothing. Waiting for a response. Wait, no, the voice. Waiting for a response to the comment would have allowed us more room to ask follow-up questions. Try to get to the bottom of this mystery lyric. The mistake here was in rushing to publication rather than sitting it out for a while. This is not lost on me. Lessons were learned. If they were learned, they weren't learned by you. I'm certain of it. I'm certain of it. No one with a brain is confused as to why it was so necessary for you to rush this out. You had to take advantage of the trending topic that was Joker in Super Smash Bros. Something people care about, not you. How can you make this about you? You're the victim though, so you gotta run away. You know what I mean? You ever talk to somebody who just says something that's so stupid and like they can't defend it, so immediately they're just doing the equivalent of putting their fingers in their ears and la 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 la, or they're running away, you know? They can't hear reason if they're running away, you know? I will be taking the rest of this long weekend away from social media. I wish I could have responded to this sooner. I am terribly sorry for this whole situation. Believe me, I did not want to sit there in silence and be flooded with understandable criticisms. You're who's wrong, Internet, not me. I'm right. So before I get struck for harassment because I'm doing a voice for someone's tweets following them, you know, acting less than professional, I want to make it clear that I am not inciting violence or any kind of cyber harassment in real life or otherwise against this person. I just think that people should be held accountable for what they've done, and this person can't even be bothered to own up to slander of the arguably racist variety. It is obvious that you were trying to ride the wave of a trending topic to hope for that sweet trickle-down attention, and you did so in a way that you can't defend, and you were wrong. The classy thing to do would be to admit to it, blatantly apologize, and stop what is clearly a pattern for you, instead of this knee-jerk reaction of denial. I'm not sure what the lyric said. Bitch, we don't care what you think it said. You published an article with a rage bait and offensive title claiming that it was something that it ain't. It is not what you claim, and that's what you need to rectify. If you're unfortunately too stupid to recognize that, hopefully your handlers know better than you. Such a reckless and potentially harmful piece sets a bad precedent for the medium that you seem to gleefully try to be the quiet assassin of, with every flailing attempt that you make for attention online. You are one note. You can't seem to form a tweet without the word trans in it. I've seen Snapchat stories and TikTok videos by vaping teenagers less vapid than the shit you torment the internet with. And before you misunderstand again, I am not implying there's anything wrong with being trans. People are free to live however they please, and as long as they're not deliberately harming others, more power to them. They have my blessing. But I'm a black man, and I've been marginalized. I've been oppressed. Can you imagine if it were the only thing I talked about, though? Can you imagine if every tweet was like, black man here, it's another day out here in the fields? Come on. Because I consider myself interesting. I'd be ashamed to just be reduced to the one thing that some people look at me and see me as. And I'm amused, because you know who I see following you? Philip Mewson. Philip Mewson, the plagiarist? Y'all rolling together? Is this some kind of like Illuminati? So y'all trying to take down the gaming industry? Philip Mewson, whom after 8 months decided to come out with an apology video. You stole from people and you only admitted it because you got caught. Because admittedly, who would do something like what he did unless he was under the impression that he could just get away with it clean? He stole from a small YouTuber, and it wasn't just on one occasion, but plenty. Multiple times he was caught stealing, and this is what he finally apologizes for in his 8-month anniversary of the event. Because at the time he made a monetized non-apology where he said to Boomstick Gaming, "Keep doing what you're doing, man." And does that situation ring any bells? Does it sound kind of familiar to the Kotaku nonsense going on right now? You know, some bullshit is declared. There's backlash for it because of course it's not true. And then when you're forced to come out and apologize, but not really apologize, you're just raking in all the ad revenue and the money that comes with those clicks from all the people who are of course upset at the outrage that you have created here, that you have engineered. Is it gonna end? Is this gonna end? Not just the video, but like, I mean, this cycle. Is this cycle going to end? I guess not as long as there's surgeries and projects to crowdfund for people like this. Subscribe to me, and let's ride out this apocalypse online together for as long as they allow people with a brain the ability to speak freely. Our days are numbered. Our days are numbered.